Raise your hand if you've ever felt like you're not quite measuring up, whether at work, in your relationships, or just in life. As men, we're often taught to keep pushing forward, to stay strong, and never to let our guard down. But what if I told you that the key to truly moving forward isn't about being tougher or more resilient? It's about learning to accept yourself, flaws, and all. In this video, we will dive into how self-acceptance can help you overcome the burdens of the past and truly embrace who you are. By the end of this video, you'll have practical steps to start your journey towards self-acceptance and healing as a man. Coming up, how you can use self-acceptance as a powerful tool for growth and mental well-being. Before we get into this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It means a lot and it helps get out the message to others. Let's go. Self-acceptance is about embracing all parts of yourself, the good, the bad, and everything in between. But for men, this can be particularly challenging. Society often sends the message that men need to be strong, stoic, and always in control. These expectations can create an internal struggle, making it hard to accept yourself, especially when you don't fit the traditional mold of masculinity. How often have you felt the pressure to bottle up your emotions, to power through tough times without showing any vulnerability? This pressure to conform to a certain image can make self-acceptance seem like a weakness or something unattainable. But here's the truth. Self-acceptance isn't about being perfect. It's about recognizing that your imperfections, vulnerabilities, and even your mistakes are what make you human. And that's more than enough. For men, the journey towards self-acceptance is not just beneficial, it's essential for mental health and well-being. When you stop trying to live up to unrealistic standards and start embracing who you are, you'll find a sense of peace and strength that comes from within. Self-acceptance allows you to let go of the stigma that says vulnerability is a flaw. Instead, it redefines vulnerability as a sign of true courage and resilience. Accepting yourself means understanding that your worth isn't determined by how well you fit into societal expectations, but by how authentically you live your life. It's about permitting yourself to be real, to be flawed, and to be fully human, and in that, you'll find true strength. For many men, the weight of past experiences, whether it's childhood trauma, failed relationships, or the relentless pressure to succeed, can feel overwhelming. These burdens often shape how we see ourselves, leading to feelings of inadequacy, guilt, or shame. However, self-acceptance offers a way to break free from these negative cycles and begin the healing process. When you accept yourself, you're no longer fighting against who you are or what you've been through. Instead, you begin to understand that these parts of your life don't define you. They're simply chapters in your story. Self-acceptance allows you to see that your worth isn't tied to the mistakes you've made or the hardships you've endured. It's about acknowledging your full humanity, flaws, and all, and realizing that you are enough as you are. This acceptance is crucial for healing because it permits you to move forward without the constant burden of self-judgment. Men often feel the pressure to be perfect, to live up to an ideal that's impossible to maintain, but self-acceptance means letting go of the need to be anything other than who you truly are. It means recognizing that you have the right to make mistakes, to grow, and to evolve. Healing begins when you stop punishing yourself for not being perfect and start embracing your true self. By accepting your past, you free yourself to live more fully in the present and to create a future that reflects your values and aspirations. Self-acceptance doesn't mean you're settling for less. It means you're choosing to live authentically with a sense of peace and purpose that comes from within. Self-acceptance is a journey, not a destination. And like any journey, it requires practical steps to help you along the way. For men, cultivating self-acceptance often means challenging long-held beliefs about masculinity and learning to embrace vulnerability. Here are some actionable steps to get started. Number 1, embrace vulnerability. One of the biggest barriers to self-acceptance is the fear of being vulnerable. Society often tells men to hide their emotions, but true strength lies in acknowledging and expressing your feelings. Start by allowing yourself to be open. Whether it's sharing your thoughts with a trusted friend or simply admitting to yourself how you truly feel. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a powerful tool for connection and self-growth. 2. Challenge. Negative self-talk. Men are often their own harshest critics, replaying negative thoughts that undermine self-worth. Pay attention to the inner dialogue that shapes how you see yourself. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," ask yourself if that's true. Replace negative thoughts with more balanced and compassionate ones, reminding yourself that it's okay to be imperfect. Number 3, practice. Self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. When you make a mistake, instead of being hard on yourself, take a moment to acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes. Speak to yourself with empathy and remind yourself that your worth isn't defined by your shortcomings. Lastly, number 4, build a support network. Surround yourself with people who accept you for who you are. Whether it's close friends, family, or a support group, having a network of individuals who understand and support your journey can reinforce your self-acceptance. These relationships provide a safe space where you can be your authentic self without fear of judgment. By taking these steps, you'll begin to build a foundation of self-acceptance that allows you to live more authentically and with greater confidence. Self-acceptance has a profound impact on every aspect of a man's life, influencing not only how he views himself, but also how he interacts with the world around him. When a man embraces self-acceptance, he experiences a shift that can transform his mental health, relationships, and overall sense of fulfillment. Self-acceptance has a profound impact on every aspect of a man's life, influencing not only how he views himself, but also how he interacts with the world around him. When a man embraces self-acceptance, he experiences a shift that can transform his mental health, relationships, and overall sense of fulfillment. Here are some steps to get started. Number 1. Strengthening mental resilience. Self-acceptance builds resilience by providing a solid foundation from which to face life's challenges. When you accept yourself, you're better equipped to handle setbacks and failures because your self-worth isn't tied to external success or validation. This resilience allows you to navigate difficult situations with a sense of inner stability, knowing that your value doesn't depend on perfection. Number 2. Enhancing relationships. As self-acceptance grows, so does the quality of your relationships. When you accept yourself, you're more likely to be authentic in your interactions with others. This authenticity fosters deeper, more meaningful connections because you're no longer trying to be someone you're not. Instead, you attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are, creating relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. 3. Living authentically. Self-acceptance empowers you to live life on your terms. Without the burden of trying to meet societal expectations or conform to outdated notions of masculinity, you're free to pursue your passions and goals with confidence. This authenticity leads to a more fulfilling life because you're living in alignment with your true values and desires rather than following a path dictated by others. Number 4. Reducing stress and anxiety. When you stop striving to be someone you're not, a significant amount of stress and anxiety naturally falls away. Self-acceptance helps you let go of the constant pressure to perform, allowing you to relax and enjoy life more fully. This reduction in stress can have positive effects on both your mental and physical health, contributing to a greater overall sense of well-being. By embracing self-acceptance, you set the stage for a life that's not only more resilient and authentic, but also richer in meaningful connections and personal satisfaction. Self-acceptance is one of the most powerful tools you can develop as a man. It's about acknowledging all parts of yourself, embracing your imperfections, and understanding that you are enough just as you are. This journey isn't always easy, but every step you take towards self-acceptance brings you closer to living a life that's truly authentic and fulfilling. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you struggled with self-acceptance? How has it impacted your life, and what steps are you taking to embrace who you are? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences can help others who are on the same journey. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content that supports your mental health and personal growth. By joining this community, you're taking a powerful step toward breaking down the barriers that hold men back and building a life of strength and resilience. And if you're ready to take your journey to the next level, stay tuned for our next video, The Strongest Barrier: How Men Can Set Boundaries Without Guilt. Setting boundaries is a critical part of maintaining your well-being and reinforcing the self-acceptance we've talked about today. I can't wait to dive into this important topic with you.